Okay, so this is going to be a pretty quick and dirty video where I'm going to take a look at a new beta for a new game. It's about to go on Kickstarter sometime. So right now I've got the GD EMU loaded up. I've already put it on here. I'll get to it in a second. If you remember the GD EMU from a video I did earlier, it might be the last video I did because I don't make videos that often. But it's not Surf Rocket Racers. This is Arcade Racing Legacy. I don't know why it's called Racing Pro on here. Whatever. This beta has been released by a company called JoshProd, who has been publishing new Dreamcast games on a fairly decent basis the last couple years. Now, I'm turning the volume way down because it's very loud. Now again, this is a very, very early beta build of a game that hasn't even been released on Kickstarter, or it hasn't even been gone to Kickstarter yet. So, therefore, it's very unpolished. It doesn't have a menu. It doesn't even have a title screen at the moment. As soon as I press this button, it's going to go straight into the thing. That's why I'm talking now. This is basically a homage to Sega arcade racing games. This specific level looks more like a Sega Rally than something like, say, an Outrun or even a Daytona USA. That being said, this is a 3D independent Dreamcast game, which is still a very rare thing. I think the only other one I can think of that's come out off the top of my head, I think was also by JoshProd. It was 4x4 Jam. There was another one on Kickstarter, but that actually failed. I can't think of another one that succeeded as an independent game. There was Geist Force was an unreleased game, but that doesn't count. So, okay, so we're gonna, as I said, this is gonna and it is on the. Okay, it's actually gonna go through because that's what the GDMU does. It is on JoshProd's Twitter. They have a link to download it, so you can download it, and then you can burn this to a disk, play it on an emulator, presumably. Or put it on a GDMU if you have one, like I do. But it's a CDI, so I'm assuming it would work if you burn it as a CD. And I don't see why it wouldn't work on an emulator. Now, as I said, this level is much more like a Sega Rally than your Daytona. I have the distinct feeling that the Yokohama and Michelin ads are going to go away in the final version. And this music track plays the entire time and it just keeps looping. So I paused it. As you can see, it actually looks pretty good for a Dreamcast game, obviously. A lot like 4x4 Evo, maybe. You do see a fair amount of pop-in. Or especially like the textures pop in as they go from one resolution to the other when they come closer to you. But I mean, there's a decent amount of scenery. There's like whatever this is. Oh come on! I want to show them the scenery. There we go. Oh. And yeah, there's no HUD, because again, this is a beta of a game that hasn't even been kickstarted yet. But, oh, I want to see something. Looks like it's supposed to be like a Lancia. Okay, the pole does actually have collision detection, which Hell, I mean, when I was Test Drive 6, the game I actually like, a lot of their light poles don't have collision detection, and that's the game that was finished and released to the public. So this is a very good looking independent Dreamcast game, and hopefully they said they were going to put their Kickstarter up last Friday, but they didn't, and then they were saying they were hoping to get it up on Monday. It is currently 2 in the morning on Tuesday, so that hasn't happened yet. At least not the last I've checked. So hopefully they'll get it up at least within the week. I'll re-edit the description of the video to have that link. But this is, I mean, I think there's somebody behind me. For an early beta build of a game that is actually being created from the ground up for an almost 20-year-old system now, actually over 20 years old in Japan. This looks pretty impressive. And I've seen video that they posted of like a later build than this that they haven't released, and it looks good as well. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on this. I would just keep an eye out on JoshProd's Twitter and Facebook pages and take a look. And hopefully they'll get this up, and hopefully it'll get successfully funded on crowdfunding, Kickstarter. One thing is that this current beta build doesn't actually support, not only does it not have a pause menu, it doesn't support the soft reset. Well, first time I did it, it just went to a black screen. Yeah, it doesn't support a soft reset yet, which is oh, there we go. So that's that. You can see kind of a bit of a reflection. So that's it, and hopefully this will get funded. We'll get it, and we'll be able to have a new Dreamcast game to play sometime later this year, next year, whenever they're scheduled to come out with it.